Hello, Weekend Warriors. Welcome to a short stream tonight. Sorry we haven't been on much lately. Just life's happening, but we managed to be on tonight. So we've got ourselves a how long?
About 20 minutes.
20 minutes. Yeah, we're just gonna go over some trailers and new releases tonight.
So recently we've got, these are all from San Diego Comic-Con, right?
The first three are, yes.
Okay, so the first one, and the only one that I've really latched onto with interest is what is apparently is the sequel to the recent American Godzilla film.
Mm-hmm.
I did not care for the first one. I'm not gonna lie. You barely got to see him, but from what I can tell from these trailers, and I've been fooled before, but from what I can tell, there is going to be a little more Big G in there.
Mm-hmm. And it seemed, from what I've noticed, based off at least the background destruction and everything, we're gonna see a lot more monster fights in it.
Oh, absolutely. We know that there's going to be at least King Ghidorah and Mothra.
Well, no, Mothra, Rodan, and King Ghidorah are already confirmed in it.
Oh, awesome.
You remember that one you saw, the big dragon, or the one-headed thing you saw flying? That was Rodan.
Oh, Rodan. Oh.
It's hard to tell because they're all shadow shots, but if you can tell the head shape. You always see, all the shots in the trailer were from his back, so it's hard to make out the head, but you can see the tip was pointed.
Let's see. What else is, I guess there's I might actually go to see this one in theaters. I'm not sure.
Oh, I will.
Because
then again, I always go to see any blockbuster movie in theaters, regardless if it's good or not. So,
because this would not be the first time in history they've rewritten some of the origin stories for the Godzilla monsters.
Mm-hmm. Well, Toho's done it multiple times, haven't they?
Very much so. Godzilla was always created with nuclear power, though.
Fair enough. I mean, they even rewrote Attack on Titan.
Let's see what else is there. I guess there's Shazam.
Oh yes, I'm hyped for that. And you were into it until the Shazam part happened.
I was into it until, like, okay, in my mind, Shazam is the wizard and the hero is Captain Marvel, because otherwise he wouldn't be able to introduce himself without changing back.
Well, you know why they couldn't call him Captain Marvel, right?
I know. There was a whole legal battle, but I still maintain that anything but Shazam, as long as it began with Captain, would be acceptable.
Captain Lightning Bolt?
Well, there was an alter ego to Captain Marvel at one point called Captain Thunder.
Okay. I would have kept the movie title Shazam and just called him Captain Thunder in the movie.
Maybe.
But
well, that was how the comic worked out too.
Yeah, I mean, like, Man of Steel was called Man of Steel, but he was still called Superman in it. So
yeah,
they could have done that. They might do that, actually.
I'm interested to see a touch of comedy show up in DC, in a DC movie.
Well, they're starting to realize that too many people are complaining about their too dark, too serious tone they're going for.
Yeah. Let's see.
They fired Snyder.
Oh yeah.
Well, supposedly it was he was going to be fired after Justice League, but he left early due to family issues. So it kind of they just didn't get him back, basically.
I see.
Yeah.
And well, like I said, I am excited. I am at least interested to see the new movie.
Mm-hmm. What do you think of the suit?
Pardon?
The suit.
Well, I mean, to me, Captain Marvel, his whole thing was like he had that whole jacket look going on with the side cape. I always thought that looked really cool.
Which version are you talking about?
One of the earlier, most of the earlier versions of it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
There was but
My guess is they got rid of that because it wouldn't make sense if he Shazams it onto him. There's no purpose for those parts other than just to look cool.
well, I mean the cape still.
Because
It always kind of draped over his left arm.
oh, okay. But weren't there like side on one of the earlier suits? Didn't they have like side buttons on the side where you could like unsnap it?
Yes, that was one of the earlier versions. I do miss that, but I understand why it's unnecessary. I still think it would look cool because it's magic. It doesn't matter.
That's true. Fair enough.
Uh, I I'm interested to see like how they represent the seven enemies of man.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Again, it's been a
And
long time.
yeah, oh, and well, Black Adam's going to show up eventually as well. We know that.
Dwayne Johnson's playing him. It's been confirmed.
Yeah, you can't really have a Shazam story without Black Adam.
See, the thing I'm really hyped about Shazam for, I'm just really finally happy we're getting a DC movie that is fun.
Well, for the first time in a great while.
Yeah.
Uh,
I'd say the last superhero DC movie I could say that was actually fun was Superman Returns.
well, I
Would you
guess.
agree?
I mean, personally, the last DC film that I personally had fun with was Batman and Robin
uh,
because it was dumb. Okay, I like it because it was dumb.
did you see Superman Returns though?
I don't.
That's the one with Brandon Routh, and it was supposed to continue off of Superman 2. It was
I might have
directed
forgotten
it.
the plot.
Kevin Spacey was Lex Luthor.
No,
Didn't see that one?
I might have. Is that the one with the scene on the yacht?
Yes.
Then yes, I have seen it. Yeah, that was a pretty good film.
Mm-hmm. Very faithful to the Reeves version of Superman also.
Yes, and I gotta say, the weird, outlandish plan that Lex had really was befitting of a comic book.
Well, all of his plans throughout the entire series were that. I mean, they were all real estate focused, remember?
Yeah.
The Christopher Reeves version of Lex Luthor was obsessed with real estate. All right, well, we'll discuss that later because I actually have an idea to run by you as far as Superman goes in December for a stream.
Oh, okay, no. Anywho, I guess that leaves Aquaman. Now, let me preface this. I was not a huge Aquaman fan to begin with. I think even after his revamp, he's still kind of a bland character.
Mm-hmm.
Badass for sure. But, he's fucking king of Atlantis and that's it. No secret identity, no gadgets. They don't even call him up anymore unless it's friggin' important.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess it's necessary. They, with this new trailer, they have to do an Aquaman origin to introduce him into the Justice League, and it seems very apparent to me they want to do Justice League right this time.
Oh yes, I think so. Well, I'm trying to check a date here, on the calendar. There, go on. Okay, cool. That fits perfectly, actually. All right. You now, as far what were you gonna continue saying with the Aquaman?
I think at this point they're going to have to go beyond what Aquaman is in order to create an engaging film.
Mm-hmm.
Which, for the first, and just real quick, I was just going to say, if for the first time in a long time, I think that might actually be for the best, is to spruce up the character a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Now, along with the Flash, along with Aquaman, the Flash is also getting a movie soon.
Yes, that's right.
Who do you think should play the Reverse Flash?
Professor Zoom?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough question.
And could get the guy who plays him on the TV show, the Bond guy, Matt Letcher.
Yeah, except they don't really do that kind of stuff. Because the entertainment universe is separate from the cinematic
That is
universe.
true. Now, here's the thing. You remember the guy who played Two-Face in The Dark Knight?
Yes, yes.
He looks pretty much very similar to that. He looks very similar to the actor who plays the actual Reverse Flash, and he's already played a DC villain. Do you think he could pull off a good Professor Zoom based on his performance as Two-Face?
I think if he could bring some of the energy that he put into Two-Face into Professor Zoom, then yeah, it would work out pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Because he already has the build and the look. That's not the issue. Well, assuming he looks the same as he did in 2008.
Yeah, that's 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. He was in I, Frankenstein like a few years ago and looked the same still, so didn't watch the movie, saw the trailer. But yeah, anyways, other than him, I hear a lot of people are saying Matthew McConaughey should play Professor Zoom.
Well, why does there have to be a Flash story that involves Professor Zoom as part of its origin?
Because he's a key part of the origin and he's a fan favorite. And I'd be
he's not a key part of every origin for the Flash.
He's a part of my favorite version of the origin. And me, along with several other people, would be pissed if he wasn't the main villain.
I'm just saying Flash has several villains of his own, well, for example, not Mr. Freeze, but
Captain Cold.
Yeah, Captain Cold is a Flash villain.
He's cool. I'm just saying, me as a Flash fan, I would really love the Reverse Flash to be the main villain.
I suppose, but it's like when you've been in the comics, into the comics long enough, you actually end up associating Reverse Flash with the event comics more than you do the main storyline.
Okay.
Whereas in the main storyline, typically the first villain you think of is Captain Cold.
Mm-hmm. And I may just be coming from a fanboy perspective here of him actually being my all-time favorite DC villain.
That's fair. He's a great villain. Don't get me wrong.
He's a relatable villain, in my opinion.
And he kind of kicked off the whole evil clone thing going on, the opposite of the good guy thing.
Well, here, I always saw him as like what happens when you obsess too much on something you like and you finally realize you can't be that.
Well, I guess what I mean is like his whole thing is he is the Flash in reverse, and I think that kind of kicked off the whole, yeah.
Remember what made him go bad was he finally accepted that he could never be the Flash, and he.
I know what I'm saying is like.
Yeah.
We owe that character the trope of having the palette swapped villain.
Right, yeah. And that was cool too, but just my favorite thing about the Reverse Flash is his psychology and the way he thinks. And what actually drove him mad. And it's actually had a learning effect on me to not get so obsessed into one thing. Because I'd be setting up myself for disappointment at some point if I did so.
Now, yeah, and the Reverse Flash is a good example of that. I find that, not Jay Garrick, the Max Mercury, I think is like the example of how it can also go very, very right.
Yeah, that is true. I won't go into full detail. You'll know what I'm talking about as I am just bare minimally say it. I did a lot more thinking into this after something that happened in April while I was coping with some tragedy. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and as I thought, I was just I thought through I was just really mad, like Reverse Flash level mad, and I thought I watched some Flash again because that's another show I really enjoyed. Season 1's my favorite, and I realized, hey, if I keep focusing on this, I could this won't help. This will just cause more negativity on me. And then I noticed some metaphors within the Flash of the Reverse Flash's character with that, and yeah.
And that is the purpose of comic book superheroes, is they're meant to be an example.
Hmm.
Well, I think we've only got like 4 minutes left. I guess we.
Okay. Well, with that, we've gone over all the trailers. We'll just briefly go over some new releases we're excited for. I got one. Funimation is finally dubbed Star Blazers and the remake, and they're going to be releasing the DVD this week.
Awesome. Hold on just a second.
What, you excited for this?
Just had to kill a bug.
Ah, okay. So I'm really hyped for that. I have my uniform done and everything, so I'm actually going to go. NecoCon comes up in November. I'm going to be in my Star Blazers uniform. I'm going to be purchasing the DVD at the Funimation booth.
Nice.
Mm.
As far as new releases go, I haven't really had my eye on the radar.
WarioWare Gold.
I didn't even realize that was coming out. What system?
The 2DS or the 3DS, but it's also been marketed under the new 2DS. That's actually something I have a side plan for as far as investing goes.
I'll have to snag that.
I watched all the cutscenes. I started watching the cutscenes on YouTube last night, and it looks very fun.
There's only one thing that I know is going to come out eventually,
Mm-hmm.
but it's probably not going to come out for a very long time, because I think it might still be too soon for the band. But I'm excited to see what AC/DC does on their next album.
Oh, they're making another album, huh?
Well, Angus said that even though Malcolm died, he wanted to keep going,
Mm-hmm.
or at least he implied that very heavily in an interview.
So you thinking something underlines what Avenged Sevenfold did back in 2010 with Nightmare album?
I didn't realize you listened to Avenged Sevenfold, but anywho,
You?
yeah, I've got one album of theirs.
I know a little bit from them. I love their music. But that's kind of as far as I go with knowledge. I can only name like 2 songs by them, but I do love their music. Yes.
The thing is, like Rock or Bust, even though Malcolm wasn't playing, he had a heavy hand in writing it before his dementia finally prevented him from doing any kind of writing at all.
Yeah.
So whenever the next AC/DC album comes out, it'll be the first album they've ever done that didn't have Malcolm involved.
Wow. It's gonna be hard.
Speaking of AC/DC, I got a couple things for your care package while I was out today.
Ooh, can I see? I want to see.
Yep.
By the way, I was actually wearing my AC/DC shirt today.
Awesome. Well, then you'll be excited to get this.
Oh.
This is like was their big thing in the 90s right here. This was when they started shifting their sound from the typical bluesy stuff to some of the harder rock. They're going back.
I gotta go find my CD player.
Yeah, and so this is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I got you a patch for your vest. It's sew on only, so you have to pin it on while you sew it.
Henry Hawk. Ooh, that's cool.
From the Looney Tunes?
Yep.
He's a little chicken hawk that always goes after Foghorn Leghorn. I'm a chicken hawk.
Now, if I hot glue it on, because that's how I got my Autobot patch on, will that be fine until I sew it?
Hot glue will work until you sew it, yes.
All right, cool, good.
Definitely sew it. Don't just let the hot glue sit.
I will.
And finally, and this took me a bit of walking around to find. I figured this would go nicely with the vest.
Ah, that's sweet.
This is your typical golf cap, flat cap, newsboy cap,
Oh,
whatever
I,
you
I
want.
I love a good game of golf.
And the cool part about it is, in the winter, it's got ear flaps.
Ooh, cool. Oh, let me show you something I got for you. You like Pokemon, right? You still like Pokemon, right?
I pick up Emerald on occasion.
I found this little guy at a thrift store.
Oh, no shit. Oh, that's from the new Omega Ruby.
Yep. I'm pretty sure this is a McDonald's toy, but it's very good quality for a McDonald's toy. I mean, look at it.
Yeah, it is pretty good. It's got some, well, an unfortunate case of what I call exposed screw hole syndrome.
Yeah, but if you get enough like clay or something in the right color, you can usually fill those in. So yeah, I'm putting together a mystery box for you.
But yeah, I think you'll like the box I'm sending you.
Awesome.
It's kind of funny. That kind of hat, the golf cap, is the same kind of thing Brian Johnson wears.
Who is he?
The current singer for AC/DC.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to teach me all this stuff and send me
That's
videos.
why I'm sending you the CD. Okay, this is homework.
Okay, cool, cool.
I'm gonna give you your rock and roll education.
Awesome.
By the end of it, it won't just be Autobots and Looney Tunes. You're gonna have AC/DC and Led Zeppelin on that vest, and I'm gonna introduce you to the. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a little homework tonight, right before we sign off to go listen to.
All right.
I want you to listen to Blue Monday by Fats Domino.
Okay. Send me a link after.
Okie doke. Well, it's a little after 10. I guess we better sign off anyhow.
Yeah, we should. Well, thank you all for watching. If you got a viewer actually, who's watching? Any comments?
I don't know. Are you checking out? Have you got your eye on the chat?
I'm about to. Hold on. Joe. I'm checking. Let's see. Do we got anyone? No, we didn't get anyone.
All right.
Well,
Yep.
that said, thank you all for watching. And when you see this online, feel free to comment below. We answer any questions almost immediately. I'm always signed in, so if I see
Thank you all so much for being so patient with us.
Yeah, thank you.
I hope Monday didn't suck too much. I hope this helped a little bit, and I hope you have a great rest of the week.
Stay more phenomenal, everybody.
Later, Weekend Warriors.